Hey, this is your girl, BB from the streets, bringing you all that tea. Carole Baskins has been MIA since the premiere of the Netflix series The Tiger King. Just recently, two YouTubers tricked Carole Baskins, aka the Tiger Queen, into doing her first interview since the Netflix series aired. Let's see how they suckered her into this.
Since the start of lockdown, one show has gripped the globe. Almost everyone is talking about one thing.
Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Tiger King. Tiger King.
Tiger King. Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Everyone except one of its stars,
Carole Baskin.
who nobody can get hold of. Until now, in a worldwide exclusive, we bring you Carole Baskin's first broadcast interview by tricking the Tiger Queen into thinking she was a guest on Jimmy Fallon. Like Tiger King, this is a story of loopholes, lawyers, and lies. Archie and I have spent the last few weeks emailing celebrities to invite them to be guests on late-night American talk shows. We tell the celebrities that our production company, Invisible Object, is working for the late-night shows and invite celebrities on to be interviewed by America's biggest stars. We then scour the internet to find audio clips of talk show hosts asking questions to real celebrities on real shows. We then download the clips onto this iPad, ready to play to our guests once they appear on Zoom. We have fooled some of the UK's most famous faces. But, like tigers, we wanted bigger prey, and there is nobody bigger than
Carole Baskin.
So we took the longest of long shots and asked her to be a guest on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. But this particular cool kitten didn't want to play. She said no. Because the Tiger Queen hates Tiger King for making suggestions that she was involved in her husband's disappearance. So we emailed her again saying we wouldn't talk about Tiger King, which was fine with us because we couldn't make Jimmy Fallon talk about Tiger King. We said we'd just talk about cats, which was fine with us because Jimmy Fallon has interviewed actresses called Cat, stars of the movie Cats, and, on one occasion, an actual cat. And we got another email back, this time from Carole's third, current, and still alive husband, Howard, who also said, no. Our mission had about as much chance of working as Carole's second marriage. But then, out of nowhere, Carole came back with another email. On the understanding that we only talk about cats, Carole would agree to be interviewed by Jimmy Fallon. Presumably because Jimmy isn't your average Joe Exotic. But this still wasn't going to be easy. Carole's married to a lawyer. She's the kind of person who puts "for the cats" in emails instead of best wishes. And, as you know, there are these rumors about what happens if you fall out with her.
Did Carole Baskin really feed her husband to the tigers?
You could be tempted to do that.
She had agreed to be interviewed. We were feline good, but it wasn't perfect yet. And then Archie got drunk.
Sorry, I'm not being very entertaining right now. This is just probably the most important call I've ever made.
And decided that this was a good time to call Carole. Sadly, Carole has all incoming calls diverted to voicemail, so he'd need to email her his number so she could save it.
Carole Baskin, she may be bad with tigers and husbands. Very, very good on emails. Has to be said. So I suspect we'll be back with you very shortly. Carole's just replied, saying, okay, I've got your number entered.
This is Carole.
Hey, Karen, it's Matthew here from Invisible Object. How are you?
Great, how are you?
The aim of the call was to finalize details and make sure Carole was happy. After all, this was to be her first ever interview.
And you're probably being bombarded left, right, and centre with sort of idiot requests at the moment.
You cannot even imagine.
For example, Carole was very specific on how she wanted to be introduced.
Sorry, founder and CEO of Big Cat Rescue, Carole Baskin.
Yes.
Great. And as I say,
So thankful it's not that bitch, Carole Baskin. You know, speaking to that, do you guys have the capacity for...
your balance is low, please top up.
Archie's burner phone had run out of credit, right in the middle of the most important call of his life. What a catastrophe.
Yeah, you can't.
Priority to 2020 to sign up. Now to hear the rules around credit and debit card top-up.
So he tried to top up.
Sorry, we don't recognize your type of payment card.
What's the name?
Tron, MasterCard, something that didn't... You seem to be having trouble with your top-up. Because you're on Pay and Go with us, you can access all the offers. Now to hear the rules around credit and debit card top-up.
He began to make some progress,
Now type your house number that's registered to this card.
but
The amount you entered wasn't right. Your top-up was successful.
Carole, sorry, Matthew here, my telephone died.
Reconnected, Archie set a date for Carol's big interview.
12:45 on Friday.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
With the date set, we negotiated Carol's contract with her lawyer, Howard Baskin, who, at time of recording, was also her husband. Having signed the release form, Archie and I spent hours finding clips of Jimmy Fallon asking questions that Carole could answer. Having watched hundreds of Fallon clips, sent tens of emails, and had one drunken phone call, the day had come. It's now 10 to 1. We've got 3 hours and 55 minutes until we interview Carole Baskin.
We've got Jimmy asking his celebrities for a shout out for a charity, which is hugely helpful. We are now at the point where I'm emailing the Zoom link to Carole Baskin, so this is the big moment.
So in just a moment, Carole Baskin is going to join a Zoom call with me and Archie, who's in his flat.
Jimmy,
in a few
I'm
minutes.
going to say to Carole that we can't see Jimmy, unfortunately, but he can hear you. I'm not going to give a reason.
We've got a bunch of
4
things
minutes.
loaded up.
4 minutes.
There's the 4 minutes call from Archie, so in 4 minutes,
Everything comes down to this next 4 minutes. Will Carole Baskin click on a Zoom link?
the Tiger Queen herself.
In New York, I have Carole Baskin in the room now.
Hello. I cannot hear you. Your microphone is muted.
Hi, Carole. How are you? Sorry. I'm having the same problems that everyone's having on this bloody software. Always on mute and then not on mute. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, very well. So we've got a little bit of time. I'm just going to run through how it's going to work. Hi, Steve. Yep, we've got Carole standing by. Are you ready? Is Steve ready with sound? Fantastic. That's great. Okay, I'll get Carole to. So, Carole, if you could just say anything, names of cats that you look after or whatever you'd like, just so that we can check the levels.
Amanda Tiger, Sapphire Tiger, Aria Tiger, Manny Jaguar, Armani Leopard.
That's great. That's great.
With Carole sounding good, we were ready to go. Archie just had to explain why she wouldn't be able to see Jimmy Fallon.
We'll only be able to hear him, but he obviously will be able to see you because they're filming it on the cameras in his house. Very chatty. You can't talk too much.
I don't think every husband wants.
We literally, every husband, all the husbands want to be able to do that. Well, we've got Sharon. Is Sharon on visual, please? Thank you, Sharon. Good. First thing you're going to hear will be Jimmy's first question, okay? With you, big smiles in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
Thank you so much for being on our show. We appreciate it. We love you. How are you?
I'm doing great. My daughter Jamie suggested that I do this interview with you, so she says hi, and we are working every day with the cats at the sanctuary.
Are you with family now, or are you by yourself?
My husband and I live about 5 miles from the sanctuary, and my daughter lives next door to us. And so my daughter and I still come into the sanctuary every day because we have to take care of all of the big cats here.
Yeah. Are you getting to work on anything? What are you up to?
Well, unfortunately, due to the loss of tourism revenue, we had to let go about half of our staff. And thankfully, all of our animal care is done by volunteers. So the animals are still getting their daily care, but it means all of us are having to work double time to make sure that all of that happens.
You really did that?
I'm sorry?
It looked like you're really handling this whole quarantine well.
Yeah, we have to. We have so many cats depending on us. We don't have a choice in the situation.
You got a lot of animals back there.
Yes, we have 55 exotic cats, about 19 bobcats and 10 tigers and a lion, and jaguar, leopards, cougar, lots and lots.
Oh my goodness. Lucky. Wow.
A lot of hungry mouths to feed. And
Were you all set for the quarantine? Were you fully stocked? Do you have all your supplies?
thankfully, we were able to fill up our freezers. We can store about 20,000 pounds of food at a time.
It is a lot of work, though, right? I mean, it's packed. Do you have any time off?
I work 7 days a week, but I'm a workaholic, so I really love doing this work.
I mean, well, when does anybody ever get to see a cat?
after COVID-19, I just don't know if we're ever going to be able to do tours again.
Okay, that's amazing.
Carole kindly sent us a bunch of photographs and videos to use in the show, many of which have never been seen in public before, but we needed Carole to introduce them, so Archie worked his magic.
So we can just have an introduction to, I'm Carole Baskin. In fact, if you wanted to even do it, because it's quite a fun little segment like you do your YouTube videos, Hey Cool Cats and Kittens, here is, because that's such a great phrase, here is, Hey Cool Cats and Kittens.
Flowers.
yeah, please do, put that on, that would be great.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carole at Big Cat Rescue, and these are some of the cats at the sanctuary.
So, here is footage Carole sent to us of cats kept in cages. And here are some never-seen-before pictures of Carole and Howard in a short montage we like to call Baskin in the Glory. Anyway, back to the show.
Okay, tremendous, thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, I'm going to ask you for this bit just to take the hat off, if that's all right.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, no, sorry, they've asked for the hat on for continuity, sorry. Could you put the hat, I'm so sorry, thank you.
It's actually a hakule. It's a celebration of life. It's not a flower crown.
Sorry, I've just been calling it a hat, which is probably very rude. We're just waiting for Jimmy. Oh, Sharon, what's going on? Well, tell Steve. I know. Tell Steve he's got to get back. Steve, mate, seriously, get a grip. It's an absolute disgrace. We've got guests waiting. I want to send him into the tiger cage, honestly.
Carole came onto the Fallon Show to promote her campaign for a new law called the Big Cat Public Safety Act. Fortunately, we had Jimmy ready with the perfect question.
Everyone who's been coming on the show, we asked them if they have a charity or something they want to spotlight. What is the story behind this?
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, there is something you can do to end the abuse of big cats and to save them in the wild. That's to make the call of the wild, and you can do that by texting the word CATS, C-A-T-S, to the number 52886, and remember that data and messaging may apply. And what that will do is actually contact your member of Congress in the U.S., and if you don't live in the U.S., what you can do is never pay to see a cub or pet a cub.
That's fantastic, thank you. Can we just have Jimmy's outro to that, please? Coming to Jimmy in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you so much for coming on our show. It means a lot to so many millions of people watching the show.
Thank you so much.
So there you have it. Two cool cats managed to trick the world's biggest kitten into giving her first ever interview since Tiger King. Yes, Carole didn't plug her campaign on Fallon, but she did it on our YouTube channel. Not quite the same thing, but hopefully she won't be too angry.
They are crazy. He was really good at playing an executive producer for Jimmy Fallon's show. It was so funny how he told her to take the flower crown off. But then Carole Baskin's doing hair flips like she's 81. I mean 18. I'm surprised people haven't said she sacrificed her husband to get into the Illuminati. You know how that be. I know she's embarrassed now after seeing how they suckered her into this interview. Them YouTubers was too clever. Let me know what you guys think about this. Leave a comment below, hit like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell.